What's up, geeks and everyone else? Welcome to another episode of Geek Mythology, a podcast brought to you by my good friend Sal.
Ah, yes, of course. And my friend here called Seth, also known as Sugey on YouTube.
And we've got a special guest for today's episode. We don't normally have special guests, but because we've got a guest, it's going to be a super special guest, obviously. We've got Seb here. Welcome, Seb.
And I'm also a SoundCloud rapper by the name of Darth Yashin. I run the Beyblade Club with Samian, and I'm known for my awesome orange sunglasses.
So yeah, that's Seb, and he's going to be our special guest, and he's also written a book, which we will talk about later in the episode, but the main topic for today's podcast will be about the internet and all things social media and how we use the internet. But I do want to get started with today's joke, which I actually remembered. Normally Sal brings it up.
I was gonna tell you, but then you got ahead of me there.
Yes. I remember the joke, and here it goes. Okay. So what animal is always at a baseball game?
You.
A bat. Because bats.
Ah, okay.
Good one.
Yeah.
That's good.
Also, it's like Halloween as of recording this week. I guess the bats are kind of related. I don't know why I'm bringing this up. So yeah, social media is going to be the topic today, and the internet, I guess. How do you guys use the internet? Mainly.
Do I use it?
Yeah.
Seb, go first.
I use the internet to, I guess, post my barnacles because I really like building them, and also to just showcase my hobbies. And then, of course, like I said before, I do raps on SoundCloud. And I'm in a couple of Discord servers. I just like play games with the bros, the usual.
You rap on SoundCloud?
Yeah, I've got a rap out to Cold Prequels. It is so fire.
I didn't know this about you. I'm gonna have to listen to your raps now.
Darth Yashin, best Star Wars prequel themed rapper out there. No cap.
Thing is, I released one rap on my YouTube channel a few years ago when I was in year 8. It was this thing we had to do for music.
Oh, you put it on your YouTube?
And you know how in music we had to make a rap and using GarageBand to make the beat, and then we had to rap about a social issue.
That might have even been year 7, to be honest. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it might be year 7 or year 8, but I remember making the rap and uploading it onto YouTube, and well, it was it was fine back then, but then 2 years later, my sister brought it up and was like, "Oh wow, you were rapping." And I was a bit embarrassed, so I took it down.
I mean, that's the whole YouTube experience.
Yeah.
That's the whole YouTube experience.
I took it down. I took the rap down, but I did leave the rap beat on my channel. It's just I took the video down of me actually rapping because I wasn't really proud of showing that to people.
Yeah. In terms of how I use the internet, I might use it excessively, to be honest. I use it a lot. My screen time is a lot. Probably because even when I'm just doing nothing, I'm either on my phone or on my laptop, just sort of going around websites and such. But
yeah,
the internet is pretty much what I do, what I have, to be honest. That sounds kind of sad when you say it out loud, doesn't it? But yeah, no, I've met some friends online, and I use social media. I don't use the thing I use the most is obviously Discord, because that's my main. That's what I call my social media. But I still use other social media, interact with other people.
So, do you want to add anything, Seb? To
yeah, and
yeah.
I also make AMVs.
Yeah, he has a YouTube channel as well.
What's an AMV? I'm a bit ignorant here.
Okay. Should I explain that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, go ahead, Samuel.
Okay, so an AMV is something you call an anime music video, right?
Oh, right. Okay.
It's not always anime specific. AMVs just become the term.
Okay.
There are other things like GMVs, which GMVs are like game music videos. What it is, you take a song, right?
Yeah.
You basically just make an edit. That's all it is. You make an edit from moments or screenshots from said show or game.
Okay, yeah.
you sort of edit it all together. So you, while the song's going, the visuals are from the game or anime or
Oh
show or cartoon.
right, I
So you might
understand
even find
now.
some like you might find some Avatar AMVs or like some other sort of shows
Okay,
and such as well.
My best one is from Lego Bionicle.
Yeah,
all right.
that sort
Okay,
of
I
so
need to
for
like
speaking for
watch
yourself.
this. Yeah, yeah.
Seb, I'd say some of Seb's biggest things. Sorry for talking for you, Seb, but
Oh.
it's sort of like Lego Bionicle, JoJo, and
Yeah,
such
yeah, it
stuff
does
like
it.
that. Yeah,
That leads on nicely to how like I use the internet. I mainly use it to watch stuff. So like
I know.
that's how I got into YouTube, I think, and making podcasts was like I want to like make my own videos for a change rather than just watching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
So
fair. That's fair.
that brings us on to like YouTube and like social media and stuff. When it comes to like watching, do you guys watch like TikToks and like those shorter sort of videos, or do you like watching like longer ones, which I guess are more prevalent on YouTube now? Like,
I suppose, like even YouTube itself, right? It's
yeah,
sort of catering to some shorter videos because apparently, I get this from Jack Suts Life, a YouTube channel I watch, but he makes like some analytic videos. And the other day he mentioned how before you needed at least 10
10
minutes in a
minutes.
video to put
Yeah,
mid rolls in,
yeah.
but nowadays you need only 8 minutes.
And like,
So you can put mid rolls
I
in.
feel
So
like the
like even
yeah,
YouTube's catering towards some shorter videos
I feel like the
as well.
trend on YouTube has changed from like short videos, like when it was first when YouTube was really new,
Yeah,
like with skits and things, and then the videos started getting longer, and then you got like
especially
these
with
like 20-minute let's
yeah.
plays by Minecraft
Even
YouTubers.
nowadays, like Dan TDM has been
Hmm.
uploading maybe
Yeah.
40-minute videos as
Yeah.
well.
But then like
Some games instead of yeah.
now I feel like it's getting much shorter again, and you like most videos
Yeah,
that
it's
I'm
shorter
watching are like
again.
10 minutes probably. Those sort of thing.
Because
That sort of
sometimes,
thing.
especially for like the sort of videos you watch, like theory videos, if they're too long, people might lose interest or they might not watch it all in one go and they'll watch it like
Oh yeah, and you
in
know
multiple
what's
sections.
interesting is like with theory videos, I feel like there are two types. There's like the short video, sort of theory video, which are maybe 5 minutes long, and they go through facts and stuff and like
Yeah.
point things out. And then you got the longer ones, like the more like theory, I guess, where they spend a long time like going through all the details, and then it eventually leads up to this is a theory, like Super Carlin Brothers. They have a theory, but they
Yeah,
spend like
yeah.
16-20 minutes like building up to the theory, presenting lots of different facts and stuff.
I think
Seb,
my favorite theory
yeah, I
is
was gonna
definitely one that proves Darth Jar Jar, because that is my favorite theory of all time.
Yes.
I was gonna say, Seb, what do you feel about YouTube?
I feel people are just like padding out their videos too much. It's like, hi, I'm random YouTuber, and this is my sponsor. Please remember to subscribe. And then like maybe 5 or 6 minutes in, it's like, okay, let's start the video.
Oh,
Back to the topic that was on the screen.
I hate those when the intro is like 5 minutes long. Just please get on with with the video, you
How are
know.
you? King Crimson, boom, get to the topic.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the videos that I started watching YouTube mainly because of my gaming videos and such.
Yeah, that's how I
And
pretty much got into it.
nowadays it has sort of changed with like YouTubers themselves changing as well.
Yeah, gaming. I don't know. Well, from my experience, gaming isn't as big of a thing anymore. I still watch.
It's not as big anymore. Yeah,
I
that's
think
for sure.
I still watch gaming videos, like mainly Minecraft and Hermitcraft, which is a really popular show like series right now. But like, I feel like most of the gaming has gone onto Twitch.
Yeah, it's true.
Like the bigger YouTubers, like MrBeast, they're doing these like
real life videos.
real life
essentially.
videos. I don't know what you would call them exactly. They're kind of
Yeah,
like competitions or something.
I guess the general umbrella term would be vlogs,
Yeah,
really.
yeah. But then
Like
vlogs
the
are
whole thing
quite
is
big.
like, yeah, you know, Unspeakable Gaming, right?
Mm-hmm.
This popular Minecraft YouTuber. When he launched his real life channel, I didn't really watch the sort of videos that Unspeakable Gaming was doing, sort of like reviews or like those sort of not mini game sort of videos or survival videos. So I genuinely, for Unspeakable, I watch more of his real life videos than his
gaming
videos as well. That's one sort of example, I suppose.
Yeah. Thing is with vlogs, there's like, oh yeah, go on, Seb. You had something to say.
Seb, no.
I don't really spend that much time on YouTube because I'm busy watching a lot of series and I never really have time to go on YouTube.
Oh
But I
yeah.
occasionally go on there to like watch a little funny skit or something. Like, you know, Bread Boys?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bread Boys are great. Yeah.
John! It's just so funny. I love it so much.
Yeah, 'cause Bread Boys are one of the YouTube channels who do like 2-minute videos, 2-minute skit videos.
Yeah.
Skits. That's another type of video on YouTube, sort of
Skits and
shorter
things,
videos,
yeah.
but they get millions of views depending on the channel, of course. Like Tom Scar, for example, right?
Yeah.
He does like skit videos every so often, like every, I don't know, few months he releases a skit, which gets a lot. Like he has this thing where all of his videos have over 1 million views, and normally, like if a video doesn't, it just seems off to his videos page for a video not to have over 1 million. But that's the whole thing. We've talked about YouTube quite a bit.
I think it's quite hard to do skits on YouTube, especially if you want to grow. I think because the algorithm, right, is based on watch hours, and if you're gonna make short videos, you need to make many more videos to get those watch hours. So
the thing is, Tom Sky himself also has a second channel called Dark Squidge, which he used to upload weekly content videos. Is literally what it's called, #content, and it's sort of 10-minute more like challenge sort of videos almost sometimes, mostly like competitions between him and his two friends. And I really just love Tom Sky and his friends because they just make such good videos,
really
to
good
skits
videos.
or otherwise, right? But yeah.
So as I was saying, like,
pause quick.
Okay.
Sorry. No. Oh, என்னதுக்கு?
நான் அலுவல் பார்க்கறாங்க அப்ப நான் முடிய வரேன்.
Oh, like 4 மணிக்கு. Yes. I'm cut for Saturday. Right, sorry, continue.
So I was gonna mention, like, with shorter videos, right? It's harder to put them onto YouTube because of the algorithm and how it prefers it prefers watch time. And if you want to grow and grow an audience, you need the watch time basically to even monetize. So I feel like that's where TikTok comes in, and why TikTok might have grown. Because I remember back in the day. But I remember back in the day when it was when it was Musically, right? And it was all these like dubbed lip syncing and dancing and stuff. But now I feel like I don't personally have TikTok, but from what I can see reposted on other sites is that they're moving on to more like skits and shorter form videos, I guess.
Yeah. Like TikTok, a lot of them are like, there's trends that go along, right? Like dancing trends or like put a finger down trends. But a lot of the people I follow, they do sort of skits as well. Yeah. They do sort of like comedy based videos.
Yeah, you sent me one on like Avatar: The Last Airbender with like they were like role playing essentially, and one guy was like basically two guys being these Ba Sing Se residents, and they're like, oh my gosh, did you hear the news? Zuko is the tea guy is the
Lee is Fire Lord.
Lee the tea guy is like Fire Lord.
Yeah.
You know,
Seb,
that was fun.
I want to ask Seb, what do you think about something like TikTok and Vine?
I just can't really get into them. I feel like it's just too short, and I don't get enough out of them. I prefer like maybe 1 minute or 2 minute skits like on YouTube.
How long are TikToks?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Like, how long
They're
are
like
TikToks?
10 seconds or 20 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Quite short. Like, you have to. I mean, I was thinking about maybe starting a TikTok, right, and making content on that, but like, I just don't know TikTok well enough in terms of like what to do, because I don't consume TikTok. I don't watch TikToks.
From what I know, TikTok's algorithm is also kind of iffy sometimes. Like TikTok, the thing is, if somebody spam likes your videos, you get shadow banned. Shadow banned mean your videos don't get shown on your For You page.
You know what? I got shadow banned on YouTube once. I think it's
Oh yeah, you told me that.
So during lockdown, like in March, when everything was like when the coronavirus was still a very new thing, we started the Isocraft server as this thing to do over lockdown. And my first episode, I was explaining why we were starting this Minecraft series, and I like mentioned the
and you said,
coronavirus, right?
yeah.
And then that
At the start of lockdown,
yeah.
YouTube essentially censored Corona as a word.
Understandably, I guess, if they wanted to limit like fake news and all that misinformation. But like, yeah, I got shadow banned, so I had to re-upload the episode, and I had to like cut out the bit where I said coronavirus.
I was gonna say, in terms of, we've talked about like video content a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of the more social media side of things, like I know you don't delve into it much at all, Seth, or like,
Yes.
but like sort of. I know Seb uses it to like show his interest and like sort of do reviews and such. I follow Seb on Instagram.
Yeah.
And Seb, you post a lot of reviews of shows you've seen and or like products you have.
Second account, the Culture Gungan.
Yeah.
So like, how do
yeah.
you use like social media? Like, how do you use Instagram, for example?
Well, I think on my main account, I'll like post about my book, or I would post about my hobbies.
Yeah.
And then on my second account, I'd like review shows I've seen and movies I've seen and do art on it. And then I also used to talk to my friends a lot because I've got some, like really good friends, like both real life and online. And I just like to spend ages just chatting to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had some like conversations for a long time on Instagram DMs as well.
Yeah, I mean, like
Seb.
yeah.
In depth about the meaning of life and all that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I use like social media a lot just to talk to people, I guess. But like I've started recently on my Sugey Instagram account, like just posting like memes and stuff, but not always memes, but like memes and just promoting shows that I've seen, basically.
Yeah, for me, in terms of Instagram, I follow a lot of accounts. I follow like 1,500 almost accounts, which I'm trying to sort of lower it, but I realize like I follow these people because I watch their stuff, or I used to watch their stuff, and I'd like to like keep following them. But other accounts, I'm sort of like, I don't really interact with you anymore. I'll just unfollow some accounts, but I still follow a lot of accounts to the point where I never get the message where it says you've caught up with all the posts in the last 3 days. So the pop-up that comes up for me, mostly on Instagram at least, I don't look at posts so much anymore. I'd rather look at stories, because I feel like stories give you like more about what they're doing and more about what things people are doing. Well, posts, they might be like promotion posts or like not about their life, while stories give you more of a look into what somebody's doing if they use it, obviously. So that's sort of something. Seth, I know you put in you can't talk about Snap much, but what's both of your opinions on Snapchat, which is the more like the teen social media sort of?
Is swearing allowed in this podcast?
No.
No.
Okay, then frick that app is the most pointless thing I've ever seen. Like, you get all these roadmen and these thoughts like, oh look, I sent him a picture of my wall for 10 days straight. And I'm like, okay, good job, I guess. And then we're going to send him more pictures of my wall, but put the letter S in it. Okay, you do you, very cool. It's not for me.
Streaks.
Yeah,
in terms of streaks, I will say one thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've said this on the podcast before, but on another podcast I listened to, Help I'm Stuck, I've mentioned it before. One of the hosts, they basically said they don't like it when people send streaks of just a wall and an S. So normally from now on, even though it's still boring, I still like try to send a streak of my face with saying good morning, maybe.
Yeah.
Instead of just an S, I like to say something,
Thing is, like,
instead of, there's my wall.
I could have got Snapchat like a long time ago, but I decided not to. And then, like, recently I decided to get it for some reason, just to see what it was all about. And I still don't get it. Like, I understand the talking part and you can chat to people, which I do. But, like, with the streaks and stuff, what's the point?
I think that's for me, it's sort of a mindless thing I do. It's just something to do in the morning when I get up.
I mean, the only reason I'd use it is to talk to people. But I guess the streaks are kind of addictive.
Can't get into them, to be fair.
I found this, like, you know how you got this like score or points thing, right, on Snapchat?
Oh yeah, the number of days you've held it.
Is that okay? Does like streaks increase that?
Do you mean the score you have?
Like, you know, by your name, there's like
Right,
you've
right.
got your star sign symbol, and then you've got
I don't
like
pay attention to that. I don't pay
like
attention to that number, but I'm pretty sure streak sort of increases that. But I
yeah.
don't think anybody pays attention to that,
Thing is,
to be
like,
honest.
I see people with like tens of thousands. I think you've got like tens of thousands in terms of the points.
Do
I've
I? Let me check.
Yeah, I've got like 20, 20, right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I've been chatting pretty.
Yeah.
I've been chatting to 2 people like pretty consistently. I'm like, I feel like 20 is
Oh
a
Lord,
bit too
yeah, I have a
low.
lot.
Do you have to?
I have
No, I
57,000
feel like that score
Yeah.
is kind of like no replacement for true
Pointless.
friendship. I think instead of the score, you should be like paying attention to like how fun the conversations you're having are, like how many
Yeah.
times you just talk to each other and just chill with each other
Yeah,
and vibe.
honestly, for me, I think Snapchat is the place. I follow people on Snapchat who I don't really, who I've really never talked to. Like some people from like the school. Do you know the school we go to sing choir
Mhm.
stuff? I
Yeah.
follow some
Yeah.
people on Snapchat. There's one person I mainly like because they have a bunny and stuff. I'm going like, oh my god,
Pets.
bunny! It's like I don't really have too many conversations with people. It's like because some people do use Snapchat over Instagram, so it's kind of nice to like
Yeah.
see these people's stuff on Snapchat. But really, I only really check that, and I sort of have some conversations on. But like Snapchat is definitely, it's not meant to be like, oh yeah, like constant permanent stuff. While Instagram is more permanent stuff, obviously. But
Yeah.
but
But I was gonna mention.
Snapchat's definitely not the worst of the social
Yeah.
media we have now.
I mean, I was gonna mention like I feel like the streaks can get really addictive because personally, I'm kind of like I'm wondering how to bring up this score because 20 is just like really low, and I'm like, do I start
I don't
streaking?
think
Is
you
that
should.
the
I
way?
don't
Is that
think you
the
should
answer?
worry.
Just
Don't
ignore the
worry
score.
about this score. I don't think anybody looks at the
No one
score
cares,
when they
right?
go to add
Okay,
someone.
cool.
Nobody
Because
looks
like
at it.
it's just a thing that I found like. Is this how to use Snapchat? Is the point of Snapchat to do streaks? You know, because I just don't use it other than
Yeah,
talking to
it's
people.
sort of. Yeah, there's literally no point in it, not at all.
Yeah. So we've covered like social media and like videos and stuff.
There is still one more social
There
media
is
we haven't
like
talked about yet.
Reddit. I don't
Oh,
use Reddit
I didn't
personally.
even think about Reddit. I don't use that.
Like
I was gonna say Twitter.
oh, I do
We
use
haven't
Twitter
talked
a
about
lot.
Twitter.
I use it a
Yeah,
lot to like
I know you
yeah.
use it a lot, but Seb, do you use Twitter at all?
It's like following my favorite voice actors and voice actresses and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And I might start posting soon, but I don't know yet.
I mainly only check my notifications page on Twitter, like to see like what tweets Twitter wants me to see, like
Yeah.
instead of just my feed, or like when I've been like tagged in something, or like when my friend posts something. But I don't really scroll through Twitter and Reddit. I don't really use Reddit at all.
I
don't
never use Reddit.
Like I put all my memes there. It's so good.
Yeah. Reddit is. I don't really go onto Reddit much. Instead, I kind of just go through Instagram.
What I
and
do
that's
get
it.
is I get like reposted Reddit stuff, so memes, and also on Instagram I get this like feed of like Reddit like topics and threads, which are quite
Yeah.
interesting to read. But I never actually read Reddit directly unless it's like I'm looking for help on something, and I just happen to click on a Reddit link.
Whenever you search Google for like advice on something, Reddit's always there.
Yeah, so
There is a subreddit for everything.
That's
the whole thing.
That's
There is
the
a
only
subreddit
reason
for
I'd
everything.
probably go onto Reddit directly. Otherwise, I pretty much consume Reddit like secondhand, if that's a term.
Yeah, probably. To be honest, a lot of memes you see on Twitter probably from Reddit.
I think
Yeah.
if you make content and want it to get noticed, Reddit's the best one because it's not about who you are; it's about what you post. We'll call different
I
subreddits.
tried doing
You
that
get noticed
actually.
easier.
It's
Yeah. Could I say one
self-advertising
thing?
aloud because I think I went onto an avatar that or some sort of like subreddit, and I tried to advertise this podcast, right? And I was like, you can't self-advertise, so
what? I think it's not a Reddit rule. It's more of a subreddit rule. Subreddits have their own rules
that makes
as
sense.
well.
So
I was gonna say,
theoretically,
you guys.
yeah.
I was going to mention, you guys have your own YouTube channel. Seth, we're
Mhm.
on your YouTube channel right now.
Yeah.
Seb has one that he posts to. And then there's me. I'm thinking about starting one. Like, just,
Do it.
I've
Do
talked to you
it.
both about it. Yeah. So the main reason I've thought about starting it is obviously Seth knows this, and I'll tell Seth right now, is because the school has an editing software. If I learn to use it, I can, edit at school, then
And it's
upload at
free.
home.
Yeah.
And it's free.
And it's
I don't
like
have to pay for it.
high quality,
I'd
I
say,
guess.
if I were to just talk about it here, Seth, if it's okay with
Yeah,
you, just
sure.
to sort of tell people, it will probably be mainly like Minecraft minigame contents, as well as maybe some like real life Beyblade content here if I figure out how to record with my phone.
We'll film it in the
And if
club. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, no. I've also asked Seth for some, if I could borrow his camera and such to like record in the club and such, which you said you're
The
fine with,
club,
which is
yes.
really nice.
We
Yes.
mentioned this last podcast briefly, but how's your club? What do you plan doing with your club?
We don't have any confirmation yet because we at the end of last term is when they said smaller clubs might run. So I'd say Seb probably has to plan to ask our head of years or
The
head of sixth form
teachers, yeah.
at the start of the next half term, right, Seb?
We'll keep in bubbles of 6, and then we won't share Beyblades too much to avoid the Rona spread.
Yeah.
I think basically, if there's anybody watching from our school who does want to attend this club, don't worry, it's not going to be a Beyblade only. It's going to be more like basically Geek Mythology. You can talk about whatever you want. We might
Geek
do
Mythology in real life edition.
But basically, in terms that we're trying to figure out how to make it safe. So we said like maybe cap it at like 12 or 15 people maximum. But in terms of if you're in the same school bubble, right, social year bubble, you can sit next to each other,
yeah.
right? But if you're from a separate bubble, you sit like 2 meters apart.
away,
And
yeah.
in terms of Beyblade, you're gonna have to sanitize, wear gloves, wear a mask as you play. And we won't. If you're in the same bubble, you can share Beyblades themselves. But if you're from different bubbles, you can't share Beyblades within years. But since I'm the one mainly providing the launches will be fine as long as you're wearing gloves, right?
And sanitize, yeah.
Yeah, and sanitize. So that's basically about the club.
Right.
But that kind of went off from what I was talking about. Like, basically, the sort of content my channel will have is mainly Minecraft and possibly Beyblade collection videos sometimes and battle videos at the club. So I just wanted to mention. But is there any other social medias we really have to talk about?
I'm gonna bring up Discord because I do want to bring up Discord roleplay.
We do need to talk about this. Oh no, wait.
Discord first. Okay.
No, talk about your roleplay.
Okay, roleplay now.
I don't roleplay anymore. It's been like way behind.
But the thing is, you're the one who introduced roleplay to me, I think. Because when you probably mentioned that you roleplay on some server, and then I went out and found Star Wars roleplay servers because I was into Star Wars, and I still am.
Yeah.
And that's literally how I got into roleplay, and I've been doing it for like 2 years now, which is insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I even ran my own server, which got like at its height 300 members, but they weren't all active, and then like the server died.
Wait, Seth?
Yeah.
Is Jar Jar Binks free on your server?
Is Jar? Okay, so I don't run the server anymore because it basically died, right? And school, so I just didn't really have time to commit. But no, Jar Jar Binks. What's funny is like someone wanted to play him, right? Yeah, someone wanted to like play Jar Jar Binks as a meme, and I was like, no, because I wanted to push forward this like serious like story narrative.
Jar Jar?
Without Jar Jar, unfortunately. But it was interesting because like this is gonna lead on to the topic about your book, but this is like the first time I probably got into writing because I was thinking up about this story arc, like a storyline for the roleplay to do on the server, and it was this really interesting sort of story, and yeah, it was this storyline for roleplay, and it was kinda inspired by Stranger Things, I guess, without all the horror and without all the monsters and stuff. But there was this character called 11. So basically this character 11 had this magical power, and she was getting tested by this government agency. And it's sort of like what my storyline was going off from. It was based on Baby Yoda, right? From The Mandalorian. But it was like an extension to whatever they were doing to Baby Yoda. And my interpretation of why they want Baby Yoda is they want to test him and do science on him. I basically made the storyline about the Empire, or the remnant of the Empire, basically kidnapping like Force users and doing tests on them. And that was like the storyline for my server. It was pretty cool, but the server died. I might write a fan fiction actually, based on this.
I'm writing my own Star Wars fan script. It's actually pretty fun.
Yeah. Anyway.
Could I talk about just Discord?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
So for me, Discord's a huge part of my life for like since year 7. Obviously, it started off with my friends Zach and Tobias having their own sort of playing on this server, so we made a Discord server, and then I found out some YouTubers have Discords, and I joined that, and through a certain YouTuber's Discord is how I made my main Discord online friends. And I've met them in real life and stuff. So Discord's been... I really hate some things I said when I was in year 7, because sometimes I got in trouble on that server where I met my friends. And I said this really cringy message of like, oh, Discord's like a second home, and like when it gets all like serious and stuff, it's kind of feels wrong. And I feel so weird saying that, because that was such a stupid thing to say. But really, yeah, Discord is sort of like my online place to be.
Yeah, and I've made like, even though my server's... It's not dead, it's being rebuilt by a new owner, but even though I've left my Discord Star Wars community, I did make lots of good like online friends, to the point that I was gifted Empire at War by someone. If you're listening, shout out to you. I was gifted Empire at War, which is this top-down sort of fleet manager sort of game where you've got fleets of ships, and you can have ground battles as well, but you're basically commanding a fleet or army into battle, which is a really fun game, which I haven't played recently, but yeah, you can make good friends, I guess. Just, some...
Yeah. Like, my friends have said this. I've met them in real life at an event called Insomnia, and we don't talk much, but when we do talk, we talk very well. Like, even for like this tournament I'm organizing, which there may be recordings of either on my channel or maybe Seth might want to. I don't know if you will.
Oh yeah.
But we'll be posting. I kind of wanted that to be like a friend group who, like you guys said, like our main friend group, then another friend group from school, then maybe my online friends as well could participate if they wanted. But that's sort of like I like to like a lot of my school friends have met my online / old school friend, being my friend Zach.
I've got a lot of online friends as well. Like, we mainly meet for our interests. Like, I have some because we like to sing Elisa, some because of like Lego Bionicle, and of course this game Bang Dream, which I like playing. And I guess we just come really close to each other. An unpopular opinion, like online friendships are just as good as real life friendships. Yes, with a good person.
Yes.
Anyway,
sorry,
I do want to move on, because we're half an hour in and we're like halfway through the topics. But I do want to move on into to Seb's book, because like
this is where the fun begins.
This is where the fun begins. So you've written a book, right? What's it called?
It's called New World Gear, and it is going to be the first book in like this big ass expanded universe full of like novels and comics, and it's going to be awesome.
Wait, so it's called...
I will say one thing.
It's called New World Gear.
Okay. I need to read it. Sure.
I haven't bought it yet. I will buy a physical copy because I want a physical copy.
Virtual fist bump.
It can be bought physically and online. Yes.
Do you want to like quickly advertise your book before we move on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, advert time. Do you like battles? Do you like politics? Do you like world building? Okay, here we go. New World Gear. It's set in the system of Atlas, where heroes are literally immortalized for their good deeds. Like, they touch metal divinites, and they become the gods who protect the mortals. But sadly, the Stygia, a warrior race from outside the system, has decided to like wreak havoc for unknown reasons. And they they can kill the deities, and they almost destroyed the entire system before technology was invented, and Mechanion, god of technology, created a giant laser cannon to zap them all away. Sadly, the point where it's at, there's been like a crisis between the different races, because like the men want to industrialize their home planet, but the elves and dwarves don't want to. There's like this massive controversial war of technology, and then the gods and like their mortal helpers need to find a way to stop this before it gets out of hand.
Spoil the whole story, Seb.
Wait, is this like This is like the world building, right? That's like, I was going to ask you this with world building and stuff. How did you come up with all of this? What was your inspiration, and How did you come up with this giant world for your book?
Easy, but the secret is friendship power. So then, as a kid, like I still best friends guy. I have this best friend Benny, and then we always like make stories for our Lego figures to go on, or like we have these sheep cuddly toys, and we made comics about the sheep. And I guess like it's all that like memories of him that I put into this book, and just making this like sci-fi world like something that would be like right out of both of our memories. And I also, like I said, I'm a big nerd. I like stuff like Star Wars, Lego Bionicle, and I just like took inspiration from all of those and just mashed it all together. And
into,
then
like,
boom, we got ourselves gods, Stygia, elves, dwarves, everything I like.
Oh, elves, dwarves, and like technology and stuff. That's a big.
I just wanted to say quick. I'd say Seth is the one who writes the description, but I assume we'll put Seb's public Instagram account in the description as well as his, as well as a link to his book.
Yeah.
If you want Seb.
That's what I'm talking about. Of course, to go with that.
Okay, so more about your book. What's the main character? Do you want to like? Describe this character. Introduce this guy.
The main character is Bob Solis.
Okay.
He's a human boy who was like stuck in a shelter for the entirety of the war against the Stygia, and he's just managed to get out of the shelter. And he's very shy. He doesn't know what's going on, and he just got to find his place in this big, crazy world all around him.
Is it like a hero's journey sort of story? Like nobody guy.
I'm not going to give too much away.
Yeah.
But all I can say is that Bob's journey is far from over. Like this New World Gear series, it's going to be a series of 4
books. Oh. Okay. That's interesting.
Another interesting thing I wanted to talk about with Seb's series, right? Or something I just thought of. Seb, you do some of your like designing for like real life like sort of designing concepts on Minecraft as well, don't you? Sometimes.
Me and my universal scale, which is like this big expanded universe we're going to build up, and we're building a roller coaster with the events of New World's Gear in it.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Anyway, so how did you like write this book? Did you do it in your free time? Did you do it in school, or was it just a hobby?
I did it in my free time.
Right.
But before that, I had to storyboard because I just wrote down ideas until I finally got like the perfect final draft. Well, not perfect. I did a couple mess ups, but I mean, like I got the world which I was happy with in the end, and I guess I went from that.
So, like, what's the process of writing a book? I assume you storyboard and get an idea, and then do you just write chapter by chapter, or?
Yeah, I guess. Whatever comes in your head, you write it down before it goes away.
Yeah.
And then once you've written the first draft, you go back, and I guess you polish it out. You, like, see any plot holes, you think, nope, and, like, you room for it, and then it's all good again.
Yeah, and how long did it take you to write this first book?
I think the first draft took 3 years, and then it took another year to get it better.
That's long. So when did you start this? Like, what year were you in?
I think, I started when I was 12, so I guess let me do the maths.
Oh my. That's...
Year 7, year 8.
That's some big commitment there. So it's like 3 years in the making.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And writing isn't a casual hobby.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Manly about it and like full effort.
Yeah.
Like Stampy, right? I think he took a big break from making YouTube videos because he was writing a novel, which still hasn't come out yet.
But he's kind of putting out occasional videos, you know.
And I assume he's doing it full time. But like, you're doing this with school, so props to you, I guess.
Thank you.
And so, why did you do it? Like, what motivated you?
That's the main question. Why? What motivated you?
This is going to be a very, very long story. Okay, are you guys ready for this?
Okay.
Okay, so then I know I've always liked writing stories since I was 3, and then like in year 6, I saw like Paul Stewart and Chris Riddell, the authors for the Edge Chronicles, and like they were like talking about the work, and like they showed us this big, like really cool world, and I thought that's what I want to do in the future. So like I started like properly committing writing, but then sadly like during that time I got depression and like all sorts of like terrible things happening at once, and I mean it was so hard writing the book at first. But I eventually fought through it. I changed. I became a better person. And then I finally finished that first draft. And I was like, okay, this draft, like, it's proof I'm still here. This draft is proof that Steppy Law existed. And I'm going to carry on. And I'm going to make this giant, big universe along with Benji Boy. And we are going to become kings of the author world. Also, I want to move to Japan because, like, it's a really cool place. I mean, the woman I love's there. Like, all the good food is there. The movies, the anime. Like, I want to that paradise. I want it. and I'm going to get the cash in the books, and boom, it's off to paradise.
Yeah.
I want to ask you one thing, Seb.
Good for you. Yeah.
Could I ask?
Sure.
Something,
Sure,
Seb?
any questions are fine.
This might not be the best place to ask you this about, but like, our friend Matthias at school, he's already bought the book, and he showed me at the start of your book, you've got a list of people who, like you said, like have been a huge sort of help, and you've sort of listed some names, and I was like, I didn't want to say this because my name is at the start of the book as well, and I was like, so like, are there people on there sort of like people who you consider like huge like helps to you, like emotionally, like you said you had like depression, or like, I don't know, I just kind of wanted to ask about like the front page with like the names of like your friends and sort of people who helped you.
A big source of friendship power, but like the dude at the start, Anthony Lishak. Are you guys ready for another long story?
Sure.
Okay, so like my Polish school was working with a charity called Learning from the Righteous, sponsored by author Anthony Lishak, and we had to like write about our hero. Because I'm a meme lord, I wrote about Harambe, the dead gorilla. I was asked to read it out after this guy had like done a big speech about this guy who freed Polish war prisoners, and I was like, okay, wrong time, but okay. Harambe the gorilla died, he's my hero, and like Anthony fucking loved it. I mean, Anthony freaking loved it. He was like, Dad, this is awesome. Come with me to this party in the Polish embassy. And I was like, hell yeah. And then me and Anthony had a long chat. I told him about anime. He told me about his like book about Jews and stuff. And it was just such a good time. Like Anthony Lishak is my man.
And yeah, because I was just gonna say, because it was a very long list of like names and such, and that's why I was curious about sort of like. I'm also honored that you put my name at the start of the book. Thanks, I guess. I'm glad I helped you in some way. Before
we go to the next topic, can I advertise my next book a bit?
Okay, yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
Teaser
for everybody listening.
While writing New World's Gear, I will admit I messed up in one point, and like I didn't focus on the characters enough. But I think the next book is like a really like big deep dive, like right into the characters and their world. Because in the first one, it's like a troubled time. There's crisis everywhere. They've got to all solve it. But this next one is like a whole new adventure. You're going to like really get a feel, like a sense of their world. It's cool. And of course, their minds. They're going to be find their own individual struggles, like I've got mine. And it's going to be awesome. Like New World Gate Transcendence is going to be the sequel name. And it is going to like blow everyone's mind, I tell you.
Yeah, cool.
So, next segment of the show, Song of the Week. I'm gonna bring up this song which I recently found on Instagram, which was reposted from TikTok, and it's this song called "Someone to You" by Banners, and from what I've been told, "Someone to You" is like trending on TikTok right now.
Yeah, it was a trend song. I myself found it a few months ago on TikTok as well, and sorry.
Can one of you two sing it for me? I don't know how it sounds like.
I don't know if we can sing it. But okay. Seth, you said you found it on Instagram. The context through which I found it was a TikTok where somebody was sort of thanking their friend for like being with them and being their friend. And I was like, this song kind of like, I like that feel of the song, like being somebody to someone, you know, and like being thankful for them being in your life sort of as well. And I really like that. I like those sorts of songs which are about people's friends and such as well.
What is funny,
so that's why I like this song.
When I found the song, it was one of those like Among Us sort of videos where they name all the people, like the lyrics of the show, and they, you know, those things like with it's basically a video recording of some Among Us gameplay, but all the people are named after the lyrics of the song. I mean, and yeah. That's how I found out.
Have there been any other songs as well you found through Instagram and TikTok? Any of you, both of you, maybe?
No, not really.
I found some songs personally. Seb, have you found like any songs you like through like social media?
YouTube. It's about cheesy power metal, like Grail Knights and Glory Hammer. So yeah, like I really vibe to all them cheesy songs with like the big beats. I love them all.
Do you know what's funny with social media and music for me, Seth and Seb, obviously?
Yeah.
Is some songs that I add to my Spotify are through adverts between stories that I find, and I'm like, this song is catchy. Let me add it to Spotify. That's sort of how I find some songs.
I don't really use Spotify that much, mainly because I don't have premium, and I find the adverts and the extra songs that they add, and also the limited skips, really, really frustrating. So
That's fair enough.
that's why I don't use Spotify. But then that means I don't really want to get Spotify Premium because I just don't use Spotify like in its free version. So it's kind of like this negative loop.
Yeah. Personally, I'm fine with Spotify. I don't really mind the ads because it's like 1 minute of ads for like another 10 minutes of music, which I'm personally fine with.
Have you downloaded MP3 files?
Sorry?
Have you guys tried downloading MP3 files?
Yeah, I tend
No,
to use that.
I don't know how to download stuff, so I don't bother. Because I don't really, I kind of just, I have podcasts now when I'm traveling as well.
Yeah,
So I listen
yeah.
to podcasts instead of music.
I never really listen to music anymore. It's mainly podcasts.
Just because we're probably running out of time a little bit. But Seth, you wanted to talk about how we sometimes play songs when we're in
Oh
Discord.
yeah, so like I don't really listen to music that often. The only time I'd listen to music is when we put it on a Discord call in the background when we're playing Minecraft with friends, and we just using a bot putting music in the background.
I'm normally the DJ, but
And,
Seth has been jumping on that role a little. And it's so that
that's the only time I'd listen to music.
yeah, it's a good time for us to like share our music while people are just not caring too much. Because some people mute it, some people keep it on, and sort of like sometimes me and my friend Zach have the same sort of taste. While you sort of play like musicals sometimes. Actually, you kind of play musicals.
Yeah, in terms of genres of music, we could actually dedicate an episode to music. But in terms of genres, musical music is like a big one that I really enjoy.
Like. The only I don't really look at like theater musical as much, but like the one show and a lot of people like a one musical in particular that people might know the soundtracks of but have not seen the show is Hamilton. Like the performance is Hamilton. That's a big musical,
and I need to watch that.
We could
sometime.
Yeah, we can talk about musicals and like music inside of shows like Disney and such another day because I can talk about that a lot and Seth can. And Seth, do you kind of like musicals or like shows with songs in them?
Oh yeah, like recently I started watching Love Life. I really like the songs in there and the dances.
Oh yeah. To explain that's something called an idol anime, which is based around like sort of real life Japanese idols who sort of like sing and perform songs with their personas and such.
All right.
And yeah, a lot of kids grow up with Disney, which are musicals. A lot of Disney films are musicals, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much Song of the Week, isn't it?
Yeah. So we can move on to like the last segment of the show before we end, and that is question of the day. And my question
doesn't exist in the notes, Seth.
I'm going to improvise here because
impossible. Perhaps the archives are incomplete.
So I'm going to improvise here because I haven't planned anything. But here's my question to both of you. In terms of anime, what sort of anime do you like watching, and what would you recommend to a person who has never watched anime before?
Bizarre Kinnikuman, anything with muscles, anything with power and manliness.
Manliness, okay.
Yeah, if you guys have gained anything from Seb, he's a very energetic guy. He'll sort of bring up the energy in a room a lot of the time.
And what about you, Seb? What do you like recommend, or what do you like watching?
Me, I've said this in terms of anything. As long as it's not horror, I'll pretty much watch it, to be honest. Whether it's comedy, slice of life, action, I'm a very well-rounded sort of watching. Obviously, fantasy is my go-to. If it's fantasy, I'll probably watch it. But I like to spread myself in terms of anime genres because there's a lot of different anime. Which, if you stick to one genre, some people only watch shonen, which is like the main action animes. Where if you're only focusing on one genre, you're gonna miss out on all the other great anime out there. I kind of try to like take a bit of everything, to be honest. And obviously, sorry.
Right, can I advertise one anime?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay, so then, like, to anybody watching this, if you like superheroes, if you like wrestling, and if you like anime, I recommend Kinnikuman. It was the anime that started off the shonen genre, but it's not really that well known outside Japan. Yeah. It's basically these superheroes who wrestle each other. It's pretty cool. I recommend checking it out.
The thing is, even the shonen genre is like the action genre. It's not only fighting anymore. There's shows like Dr. Stone coming out, which is less about fighting and more about characters, science, almost. There are different types of anime, and there's anime itself. I've talked to this about Seth before and on the podcast. While something like Star Wars, it's one fandom, it's one genre. While Marvel is one fandom, one genre, one sort of thing. Anime is classed as a fandom, but within anime, it's like Star Wars and Marvel are Star Wars is a sci-fi fandom, while Marvel is a subset of a superhero fandom.
Yeah.
Well, anime, there's a lot of fandoms out there. When you're an anime fan,
Yeah.
unless you're
There's,
dedicated to
yeah.
a thing, there's a lot out there. There's an anime for everyone. Like there's there's some sort of film for anyone. There's a film anybody can enjoy. Anime, there's something in anime you might enjoy if you give it a chance.
And what I hear these animes talked about a lot. So there's JoJo, right, which is apparently really big.
Yeah.
There's Fairy Tail, which you talk about a lot.
Yeah.
I assume that's quite big. There's Attack on Titan, right? Have you seen that? Is that a big?
That is
one?
a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Because like
I
still
haven't seen
brings it to me
personally, but I would like to say one thing about anime. Like nowadays, when somebody asks for anime, since it's more well known, people will suggest actual anime series. Well, I'd say early 2000s, since anime wasn't very well known, people would immediately point you to the films, like Studio Ghibli films. So anime itself has changed over time in terms of mainstreamness in the West as well.
Yeah.
That sort of something.
And one final question. Because I've heard this term like talked about a lot by anime people, by people who watch anime. What is an isekai?
Oh, okay.
Were you expecting like some weird question about tentacles or something?
Yes, I'll go ahead.
Yeah, go on.
Isekai is basically the term for when a character gets transported to another world. Really, like, so it might be they get transported to a fantasy world, or like they get transported to like a past or something, or like a character from a fantasy world gets transported to the real world. Sort of, it's an umbrella term for shows which transport a character from one world to another.
Okay.
That's all it is, really.
Okay, that's pretty much it for today's episode. So yeah,
thank you for joining us, Seb.
Thanks for joining us, special guest Seb. That kind of like sounds cool. So before we like finish off with this podcast, be sure to check out Seb's book. There'll be a link in the description. And yeah, if you really enjoyed this podcast, be sure to subscribe or follow us and share this with friends.
Share it with your friends as well.
Yep. And we'll see you in the next one. Which will come out every 2 weeks, essentially. We'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye!
Goodbye!